Hi everyone, it's time for Drawing with Jenny again. I hope you're all doing well. So today we are back in Ruth and we are going to be finishing out chapter 2. So we're going to be reading from verse 14 to 23. Verses, I should say, we're going to be reading from verses 14 to 23. So if you'd like to follow along with me, you're definitely welcome to do so. Now Boaz said to her, the her is Ruth. Now Boaz said to her at mealtime, Come here and eat of the bread, and dip your piece of bread in the vinegar. So she sat beside the reapers, and he passed parched grain to her, and she ate and was satisfied, and kept some back. And when she rose up to glean, Boaz commanded his young men, saying, Let her glean even among the sheaves, and do not reproach her. Um, so in the first verse we read, verse 14, um, when she was eating the bread that Boaz provided her and was satisfied, that made me think of how Jesus satisfied all those people in the New Testament, the 5,000, and then was it the 4,000? My memory could be a little off, but he too fed people and they were satisfied. But the true satisfaction Jesus provides is um, the um, the bread of life that he offers. He is the bread of life. And then when Boaz said, "Let her glean even among the sheaves, and do not reproach her," um, I googled, or I didn't Google. I looked up on Blue Letter Bible the definitions for the word reproach, and we might know what that means. But again, the Blue Letter Bible just helps us to expand our knowledge of words and how they're used biblically. But one of the definitions for this word, reproach, is shame. And that made me think of how, like he's telling his young men to let her glean among them and to not reproach her. Um, there's many times in the Word where Jesus said that those who trust in Him are not put to shame, and so it just reminded me of that. It's so neat how we can see the New Testament and the Old Testament; they go together. So now we're at Ruth 2:16. Also, let grain from the bundles fall purposely for her. Leave it that she may glean, and do not rebuke her. So again, we see how she is providing for Boaz is providing very um, generously to Ruth, and God also generously provides to us, doesn't He? So Ruth 2:17 says, "So she gleaned in the field until evening, and beat out what she had gleaned, and it was about an eph, ep, ephah. I might not be saying that, an ephah of barley. Then she took it up and went into the city, and her mother-in-law saw what she had gleaned. So she brought out and gave to her what she had kept back after she had been satisfied." So that makes me think when we are fed by Jesus, when we are fed of his word, um, we can help to satisfy others with what we learn when we share it with them. So Um, that's just a side note. And now we're at Ruth 2:19. And her mother-in-law said to her, Where have you gleaned today, and where did you work? Blessed be the one who took notice of you. So she told her mother-in-law with whom she had worked, and said, The man's name with whom I worked today is Boaz. So again, in this verse, we see that Boaz took notice of her. Well, did you know that God takes notice of us? Because of Jesus and his work on the cross, he has taken notice of us. So I hope that encourages you today to know that if you feel left out, if you feel ignored, if you feel that people don't notice you, you can take heart to know that God notices you. He notices you because he sent his son um, to die in your place, to die for your sins in your place. So that's pretty awesome. And now we're at Ruth 2:20. Then Naomi said to her daughter-in-law, "Blessed be he of the Lord, who has not forsaken his kindness to the living and the dead." And that's what, okay, you can ignore that part. I was going to say, well, God does bless the dead. Those who have died in him are blessed. And those who are alive in him, who have believed in him, are also blessed. And Naomi said to her, "This man is a relation of ours, one of our close relatives." Ruth the Moabitess said, "He also said to me, you shall stay close by my young men until they have finished all my harvest." And Naomi said to Ruth her daughter-in-law, "It is good, my daughter, that you go out with his young men, and that people do not meet you in any other field." And that actually reminds me of another study we did in this in the Drawing with Jenny, among the Drawing with Jenny lessons. I don't remember which one, but we talked about something about um, being with the people of God, and it was in Psalm 1, how it matters who influences us, and it matters whose company we keep. So that's sort of what Naomi was saying to Ruth here. She wanted her to be in good company. And this is our last verse for today. So she stayed close by the young women of Boaz to glean until the end of barley harvest and wheat harvest, and she dwelt with her mother-in-law. So if you wanted to take a moment now to pause, you're welcome to do that. And then, assuming you have done so, when you paused, you were free to take the time to think about how you might like to draw um, anything in the verses that we read, and perhaps take the time to draw what you have imagined. And if you would like to share your drawing, I would really love to see it. So I will now show you my drawing. Again, it's very simple, but here, this is supposed to be the field that they gleaned of. I don't really know what barley harvest looks like, but this is a field. And then this is Ruth, and these are the women of Boaz that she's staying close by. So, and there's the sun there because I'm sure, well, they worked until evening, so the sun may not have always been shining, but this is when the sun was shining. So, um, I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I will be talking to you next week. We're going to continue in Ruth 3. So I hope you're all doing well, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.